Yeah, well, when we think of gut health, we always think of what the gut does, a place of digestion, absorption of nutrients, elimination of waste. But the gut does a lot more than that. Here, let me explain to you. We have learned that the gut now holds 80% of our immune system. Think about it, 80%. First of all, how did they come up with that number? It was easy. The most abundant antibody in your body is something we call IgG. 80% of all your antibodies in your body are IgG. Well, guess what? 100% of all your IgGs are made where? In the gut. Number two, you've heard of the hormone serotonin? The feel-good hormone, the hormone that puts you to sleep? Well, 90% of your body's serotonin is made in the gut. Number three, there's over 100 trillion bacteria found in the gut. Those bacteria are responsible for so many beneficial systemic effects, and they're also responsible for a lot of detrimental effects when you really mix up those bacteria, when you get something we call dysbiosis. Number four, and most importantly, I call it the one-cell paradox. And what the one-cell paradox tells you is the fact that what separates everything in your gut, everything, all those bacteria, those food particles from entering your blood is actually one cell. It's a paradox because that one cell lining has to be permeable enough to allow nutrients to get inside your blood. At the same time, has to be strong enough to block bacteria from getting into your blood. Think about it. All that stands between life and death is this one cell barrier. What we've learned is that this one cell barrier can break down. And when it breaks down, there's a translocation of compounds that can come inside your blood and create lots of systemic issues. One of the reasons why that can occur is when you have a dysfunctional gut with the microbiome, where the microbiome isn't optimal. Another contributing factor is stress. Let me explain the stress one because that's really important. How many of us are stressed? Everybody's stressed. How many people have anxiety? Everybody has anxiety. What occurs when somebody has stress and anxiety? Okay, let's look at the zebra and the lion. What happens when the zebra confronts the lion? The zebra is going to be stressed out, right? It's going to be full of anxiety. So what occurs? This famous response is called the sympathetic response. Because the zebra has two choices, either fights the lion or runs away. That's what we call it, the fight or flight response. The sympathetic response sends signals from the brain to the gut. The gut holds 1/3 of your blood volume. It tells the gut, close up those blood vessels and pull that blood to the zebra's limbs so I can run faster, and it does so. At that particular moment, the gut is going to be compromised. There's less blood flow to the gut, so what happens is those cells start opening up and there's increased gut permeability. For the zebra, she's going to run for like 5 to 10 minutes and it's going to save her life. So who cares about the translocation? But in humans, we're not stressed for 5 to 10 minutes. We're stressed for days, months, a lifetime. What happens when that stress continues? You get a translocation of compounds, and right now, if you look at the literature, if you go into PubMed or go all the science around, we're finding that increased gut permeability is linked to autoimmune diseases and all sorts of other systemic conditions. It is really at the fulcrum of a lot of the diseases that we now have. And think about it, how many people relate stress to getting a heart attack, relate stress to getting all sorts of conditions, getting stress and catching a flu or the common cold. It goes on and on and on. All this is tied to gut health. So if we can improve gut health, we can improve systemic health.